In this next section, we're going to look at the building data. And we're just doing the third floor of this building. As we're looking at the information, we want to see what the space use description is. As we're looking at it, we need to prioritize the things that definitely need to be done in the morning. So what I like to do is just put a 1 next to all of the things that need to be done first thing in the morning that we can't get into some of these areas. Classrooms, a lot of times we'll need to get those quickly. A lot of times conference rooms, and we'll go ahead and put 1s in there. They might be kind of spread out sometimes. We'll go ahead and do those areas first, and possibly, let's just go ahead and put this auditorium because they might have some classes in there. It's a large auditorium. So that's quite a bit to put in the first part. So let's go ahead and get those together. Now you see that I pulled all that information with the 1s over, and I pulled it all over to these other columns over here. So the next thing we need to do is to be able to sort these. There are 2 ways we can do that. The filters are probably the simplest way. So I'll show you how to set that up. So what we want to do is we just want to highlight this area right here, just like that. And then we go up to the sort and filter area on the top, and we hit the filter button. And then we just go over here where it says room, and we just go ahead and do this. So here we go, 31, 35. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So anyways, let's just go ahead and break this up then. Okay, after looking at this for a few seconds, we want to put our restrooms together and get those done ASAP first thing in the morning. So I'm just going to move these over here, move the other restroom, right in this area. So we're in that same area. And I'm just cutting and pasting in that area. Okay, so those are the 2 primary areas. I think the auditorium is also very important since that's such a big room, and it will take a little time to do. The classroom, okay. And we might end up putting that classroom before the auditorium. So let's just go ahead and do it this way. And I'll move this over here. Okay, so we have these spaces right here. All right, and we have the 3 conference rooms. So these are kind of spread out. So there's one that's close to the. I'm going to put, maybe we can go ahead and fit this first one in the first part of the day. Just kind of pop in there. And then these other 2, we can kind of put them, looks like the 3220 could fit in underneath the auditorium. But you know what? I'm just going to put these on the side right now. I may come back to them, but I think this is probably going to be enough to keep us busy in this area. So I'm just going to put these 2 in the back down here. Okay, just in case. All right, so we're going to start the morning with this and see where we are at on the time. So I'll just go ahead and copy this, and I'll go to my work schedule. I want to go to step 2, and that's where I put my information in for this first part. So then I just go ahead and I paste the information right here. Okay, and you can see we have this information right in here, and it doesn't look that full right now, but we're going to go ahead and go to the next step, and we're going to put some times in. Okay, so we're going to kind of estimate how long it takes to clean. Now these are just we have 7 hours to do the work throughout the day, and some of that time is housekeeping cart 2 different rooms. So what we want to do is we want to actually put in how long it's going to take to do in these restrooms. So we're going to look back and see how many square feet these restrooms are. These restrooms are almost 400 square feet, so they're going to take some time to do. So I'm thinking at least 45, probably 45 minutes to detail, probably a half hour to routine. So we're going to go back to the schedule, and we're going to put in the restrooms, we're going to put for routine, we'll put 30 minutes, and for detail, we'll put 45. It might even take longer than that, but we're going to put 45 for right now. And we want to repeat that right here. And anytime you paste in here, just do the values, the 1, 2, 3s. And the main reason is that we don't overwrite some of the formatting on the page. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, too, if we look at the classroom is kind of a large classroom, if I remember right. Let's take another look. It was a large classroom. The classroom is 1,200 square feet, and the auditorium is over 5,000 square feet. So let's go back to the schedule. So for the classroom, we're going to put down at least 20 minutes for the classroom as far as routine, and let's say 30 minutes for the detail. Okay. And the auditorium, oh man, I'm going to put down, I'll put about 35 minutes for routine and detail. We're going to do a full hour, or at least very, very close to that hour. So we can go right there. So we got an hour. So anyways, we have that information. And the conference room, let's just say routine, 5 minutes, and detail probably 15. All right, so let's go ahead and see where we're at. So one thing that I would do right away, okay, now if you look up here, we have like routine and detail, and there's some other variables there too, and I'd get into those a little bit later. But this is the main thing. This is the main type of thing. So we're just going to go ahead and do routine all the way across for Monday through Friday. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to, you can copy this information. It makes it a little bit faster. You can go ahead and do that. And remember when we paste the 1, 2, 3. And there's very severe problems when you do not do it this way. After doing all of these routines, and we'll get this last one here. And what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and copy this, and we're going to paste 1, 2, 3 for each one of these rows. And then I don't want to drag, because if I drag, I'm bringing down the solid bold line on the top there, and I'm bringing it all the way down. So I don't want to do that. I just kind of do it that way. It's almost as quick. All right, so we have all these times at the top, and as you saw, as I was putting these times in, you saw the times drop down. Okay, we have 45 minutes left. However, we haven't actually figured out what day we're going to detail. There is one solid technique that makes this a little bit easier, and I'm going to show you how it's done, okay? It's called the stair method or a cascade method, and what we do is we just change the detail days on these different tasks. And as you can see, the time's dropping down a little bit on the top there. And as you're doing this, it's just a way for us to keep the times and spread out the details. So every one of those days has a particular detail. Now we still do have some time left, so we can put those other 2 conference rooms in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Back here with the 2 conference rooms right here, I'm going to move it over to the other side over here and put it right down here, just so I can say that I have them over here. Now, I could move these down, up and down, or move them around in between, but I think for simplicity purposes, we're just going to keep them together. It might cause you to bounce around the room, but at least if you have to put them off until later, if you have those areas are a little busy, or if you want to add one of the other areas, you could do that as well. So we're just going to put these at the bottom of the list. So we're going to go back to the schedule, put new spaces. We always got to go back to the, this is the only place you can add spaces at it. So we're going to go back to the next step. That would be step 3. And we're going to do the same thing with the routines. And we're going to go ahead and copy this right here and paste it right there, paste it. And we're going to put 2 routines over here yet too. And remember, just the 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at the days. Okay, we have, we haven't put any times in, so we got to do that. So that last conference room, I think we were at 5 and 15. I think we could probably do that again. I probably should check the square feet on those rooms there too, but let's go ahead and put this in for now. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that again. Okay, these are, conference room 855, 3220. Okay, that's a big conference room. We're going to take a little bit longer on that one. Okay, so that's 3220. So we'll go back. Let's say Monday's got a little bit extra time. So we're going to go ahead and put, let's go ahead and put like, for the detail, about 25 minutes. And probably put, now let's just go for 12. Let's go for a weird number right there. And the other one's probably fine. I might bump it up to maybe 7 minutes routine, and maybe, let's say 18 minutes on the detail. All right, so now you can see the numbers drop down quite a bit, okay? We could try putting the detail on this right here. Okay, we'll get down to 3 minutes, okay? And then we need to put a detail day for the other one. So we got like 16 minutes here. And there we go. So we have a little bit of wiggle room, but that's a full first shift. And if you look up here, you see that there's 2 hours and 45 minutes in that period. So we want to go to the next period. We want to go ahead and select the second period. Now everything goes back. So we have that 1 hour and 45 minutes. So then we go to the next section.